Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. Real quick before we get started, Gary, you missed. I'm going to send you a gift. I know you weren't really feeling well last week. I know you're not feeling well today, apparently. You weren't different scenarios though. You weren't really feeling well last week. I saw something. I'm sending it to you. Not sure when it's going to get there, but I saw this product just before. It's a toilet seat that shows how much you weigh, how much weight you lost. It's after. Any predictions, Gare, on what was left in the loo 2 weeks ago? Any pounds here means something different than I guess.
Yeah, I think it was good. I think it took a big GG Dolan.
Yeah.
I'm going to say that's terrible. No, yeah, all good apart from I've racked my back, but all good.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Essential Wrestling Podcast. My name is Karl. I am your host of Misinformation. We are powered, as always, by the Eastern Observer. You can taste the power. We had a fun weekend this weekend. Didn't do so well with our wrestling picks. Football picks, we did okay. But we'll get into that at the end of the show. Did okay with our wrestling picks, but it was a fun weekend nonetheless. Extreme Rules Bound for Glory. I was absolutely more than happy sitting through all that on trains, both shows. Anyways, but let's hear our little guest, our panel here today. On the bottom part of our screen, as always, the first ever PWP champion, the living legend, John DeConnie. John, how are things today?
Good. Fun weekend of wrestling. As you said, great wrestling. A lot of great wrestling. Some questionable booking decisions, but we'll get into that.
Top part of our screen, I'm hoping Michelangelo is okay.
And number 4, John Smith.
Now, I've never noticed Michelangelo there before. Is this just, are you like a Sal Ruka fan? Are we doing the gnarly Cowabunga Hang 10 stuff now? Or
you really never noticed I had Michelangelo here ever since I moved in here?
I don't recall, no.
Yeah, King Kong Bundy's always right in front of him.
Oh, maybe, yeah. How are things? I was more of a Donatello guy. How's everything going with you today, John?
Good. I can't complain. I'm ready to talk some wrestling.
And below John Smith, our senior UK correspondent, Gary Mehaffy, is just falling apart at the seams. It seems like he had a stomach thing 2 weeks ago. Now more back issues. Gary,
yeah.
I know you said he just turned 25, but I'm begging to differ on this.
I think I must have a bad back just from carrying John Smith through everything that he's done for the last other weeks to keep him relevant. Like so, you know.
I'll give you something to carry.
On today's episode, we have a huge Ring of Honor Championship match tomorrow night on Dynamite. Some fun debuts and returns in WWE on both Raw and SmackDown this past weekend. Gary Mehaffy, he's with us right now. He's going to discuss the State of the Commonwealth Address by Pretty Deadly in NXT. We make our pitch for this week's upcoming shows, which is always sponsored by ProWrestlingPick'em.com. Play against your friends, Gary, don't hurt yourself. Play against the universe. There you go. Guys, she'll like it too. We're going to main event the show with Bound for Glory and the amazing main event between Josh Alexander and Eddie Edwards. Here is the Raw roll-up standings going into last week. Start at 122. Here we go. Into last week. AEW with a 4 roll-up lead on Raw with Impact not too far behind. SmackDown, NXT. I don't know, man. Xavier Woods is kind of disappointing me. I figured he was going to be the savior of SmackDown. Let's see what happens this week because I know he was in action. We're going to curtain jerk the show with Extreme Rules, with a callback, a little bit of an Easter egg by Triple H on Friday night as he started SmackDown. Just when you think it's over, it's just the beginning. And I'm assuming he was talking about at the end of Extreme Rules after the main event pit fight, which we will get into momentarily. We saw he did this, I guess, once before with Johnny Gargano and Tommaso Ciampa. A little graphic on the bottom to go home when you think the show's over. And it wasn't. It was just the beginning as lights went out. And we got some live action, fun Playhouse characters. We got some real life Huskus. I'm excited about that one. A real life Buzzard. I forget his name. Percy. That's right. Percy. And then Rascally Rabbit, I think, right? Rambling Rabbit. See, I guess I should have paid more attention. Percy. What did I say? Mercy with an M. Mercy, right?
Yeah, like Waylon Mercy.
Oh, Christ.
That's how he got his name. That's why he wears the Hawaiian shirt.
Really?
That's why his name is Mercy the Buzzard. Yeah.
Nice.
I never knew that. We put two and two together. Nice. Very well. Good job, John.
I thought that was common knowledge.
Yeah. No.
I worked with morons.
Yeah. And then we got in some type of mask. That wasn't a White Rabbit mask from what I saw. Maybe I saw it in a wrong angle, but he was unmasked, and it was Bray Wyatt. He has returned. Now, I think we're all excited for Bray Wyatt. That's not the real question. I don't know. I'm going to cue up SpongeBob for this one because I have absolutely no idea. Was he getting paid by WWE this entire time? Does anybody know this? Because I know he was never released, right?
Yeah, he was.
He was released?
They announced his release about like a year ago.
Okay. I thought he was sitting there just getting paid the entire time just because him and Vince didn't get along. What the hell?
No, that was Bailey.
That was Bailey. Nice. Sasha Banks. That's right. Yeah. Sasha Banks and Naomi are rolling it in right now. They're doing a damn thing. Going down runways. So we got Bray Wyatt back. He had the whole world in his hands, repeatedly playing throughout the whole process. Crowd was going nuts. Holy bleep chants. It was Philadelphia, so that makes sense. So yeah, we got Bray Wyatt. Looks like we'll be seeing him on Friday. We'll get to that in a second. Before we get into the main event pin fight, just get this out of the way. Ronda Rousey defeated Liv Morgan to win the SmackDown Women's title after Liz passed out to the leg scissor with a smile on her face. And then I hear, everyone heard Dolph Ziggler in the background. It should have been me. But are we gonna get just a real quick roundtable? I don't know, yes or no, or whatever if you want to go into detail. Is this? Are we gonna get like a lunatic Liv Morgan now? Did the brain? Did something happen with the brain going? The blood going through her brain, John LeConnie, where maybe this is. I don't want to say Alexa Bliss already did this, but are we gonna get some type of the Harley Quinn type deal? I guess you could do with Liv.
Yeah, it would make sense for her to have some kind of attitude change over all this. I mean. The passing out with a smile on your face, you would think that was a decision, a choice, that's something they decided to go with, and that it will lead to something. So I think so.
All right, John Smith.
Maybe she's Abby the Witch now.
Maybe she's Abby the Witch. I don't know. Gary?
That was literally that's what I was going to say. There's been people saying that all of the characters are going to become wrestlers and people will be unmasked or whatever, and I could see that might be her character change to get involved in that. Yeah.
A lot of people were saying that Joe Gacy was Huskus.
That would make some sense.
Oh, Dallas is coming back apparently as well. So I mean, he may end up being one of them, but
I believe. I still believe.
My favorite theory was that Mercy the Buzzard was Corbin because of the shirt.
Yeah. That Corbin's still riding around with JBL. That's one long-ass limousine ride those two have been taking. John LeConnie, like I said, the show main event with the pit fight, that kind of shocked us because they were promoting the hell out of Ronda and Liv, but I guess it makes sense with the ring construction.
Yeah, exactly. So you had Riddle and Rollins inside the fight pit with Daniel Cormier, your UFC Hall of Famer, as your special guest referee. And our NXT versions of this, I don't remember them feeling like a last man standing match with all the standing 10 counts, because that's basically what this turned into. It was someone would hit a high spot and Cormier would start counting to see whether or not the guy could make it to his feet by 10. And in the first instance, Seth hit a stomp. Cormier went over to Riddle and was kind of checking on him, and Rollins was losing his mind. He's like, start counting. So he didn't get his wish there. So he started to feel like maybe there was something that was going to go on between Rollins and Cormier. And then at one point, they made their way up to the platform around the raised platform around the outside of the cage. And he hit another one up there. And Cormier was like, no, you're on the roof. It doesn't count unless you're down here in the ring. And while Rollins was complaining, he got hit with an RKO, and he kind of rolled off the ledge and into the back down into the fight pit. He's on the canvas. Riddle hits a Broton from up there, and Rollins makes the standing 9 count, but then Riddle transitions into a triangle choke, and Seth taps out, and Riddle takes the fight pit.
Yeah, I think most of us got all that. Most of us got that one right. I think, John, I know you had Rollins because of the title match on Monday, but I think we all kind of hoping that Riddle would go away with this. John Smith, you've evened your series with your guys against Gary's guys. Actually, no, you're up 2-0 now, right? Because Santos won, and now your boy.
Yeah, it's kind of like America, Britain, like
Yeah, 3-0. Yeah, if you count that one, little squirrel back in 1776. Yeah, 3-0.
Yeah. So we got Karrion Kross refusing to put on the strap right off the bat in this match. So he starts beating the crap out of Drew with the strap, gets him outside, inside, choking him, this and that. Finally, Drew takes the upper hand, and gets the strap on him. Only to have Karrion take it back off at one point in the match and put it back, and somehow it ended up back on his hand. I don't even know how that happened, or maybe I didn't see correctly, but it just seemed like that was the case. Not a lot of creativity in this match, just a lot of brutality, a lot of straps across the backs and chests, and a lot of. At one point, he hung up Drew's arm above the second turnbuckle and was just wailing away on him. Comes down to it. Drew's going for the Claymore, and Scarlett gets in the way, of course. And after that, we get Karrion Kross with the win with the forearm to the back of the head.
Yeah, I don't think Scarlett used enough pepper spray, though. I thought Drew may have picked that.
Oh, yeah. Pepper spray.
Did you see she had to have used that whole little. She just kept going. I'm like, oh my God. Enough already. He's dead. It's like that Simpsons. Like, all right, enough already. He's dead. Leave him alone. Jesus. Yeah, Karrion Kross with the big win by hook or crook. I use drenched in my notes. Even that I think is an understatement of what the much. I really hope that wasn't pepper spray. Drew's probably still feeling it. Jesus. Gary, the show started with a good old-fashioned Donnybrook. How'd you like that one? I'll be right back.
Oh, my back. Sorry. About to attempt to move. I can feel my back going on this spasm here. That was great. It was like a proper Friday night out in Dublin. You had Ludwig Kaiser was in his tree of woe and had the shillelagh driven into his neck, but Gunther came back and chopped anybody. And as we said, you had Giovanni Vinci sending Butch flying through the barricade. And when you had got to the point, you had Sheamus launching Vinci and Kaiser into the barricade, and it left him and Gunther in the ring 1-on-1, and the crowd was just electric. I don't think Sheamus has ever been as over in his life.
Yeah.
Gunther hits a German suplex. Sheamus gets him back, hits the 10 beats of the Boron, gets a brogue kick, but Giovanni Vinci breaks it up. Butch then hits a moonsault from the top of the barrels to get everybody, and inside the ring, Gunther hits Sheamus with his big shillelagh, which I think is not a euphemism for what Jimmy likes to call him, and it kicks out just in time. Sheamus lifts him, hits Gunther with the Celtic Cross through the announce table, and inside the ring, Giovanni Vinci gets held. Sheamus hits a brogue kick for the 1-2-3, and the Brawling Brutes take it.
Yeah, big one for the Brutes. Retaliation. What happened on Friday night? We'll rewind to SmackDown real quick, Gary, just because this will be for all three of you. This will be for all three of you because I guess the tap out rule I guess, that they exploited, or Gunther exploited, tapping the mat twice. Apparently you need 3 for a technical submission. I give up. Gary, was that a creative choice, or was that like, come on, like that was stupid? What were your thoughts on the finish to the Intercontinental Championship match that Gunther won and retained, obviously?
I assumed that the tap was purely accidental, that he was kind of going, no. And then when he did the tap, that everybody went, oh, crap. This looks like he's tapped out.
John LeConnie.
Yeah, that was my thought too. Like, like when you're in pain, or at least when you're trying to sell you're in pain, you bang a table or something like that. I think he didn't mean to do it twice in quick succession. But yeah, it looked pretty awkward because of that.
Yeah, I think it was Martel or Bartel. Was it Ludwig Kaiser, whatever his name is now. John Smith, and they said he's like, you have to tap 3 times for it to be official. So it seemed like maybe the 2 was on purpose. But here's the thing that kind of chaps me a little. Sheamus still didn't relinquish. Like, if Sheamus would have heard the tap and then go, woo, like that, and then Gunther get up, I think it would have been a little more controversy. Sheamus didn't let go until Gunther hit the rope. So I don't know what the whole controversy about this is.
Well, in that regard, you don't stop until you hear the bell and the ref pulls you off. That's just the way a fight really, like a fighter.
That's veteran experience by Sheamus. Yeah, that's veteran.
But I honestly, I think that this was planned, because I didn't think they wanted to have Gunther just beat him clean twice. He beat him clean the first time. This time, let him, like play little mind games or whatever. So I think that this was all part of the plan.
It was. That's what I'm asking. Is this? Did you like this? Was this creative? Something original. We had never seen this before.
Yeah, I mean, we always get something new and creative when Gunther's in the ring, but like it's always subtle. It's not like that felt very old school, like something that they would have done in the 50s.
Nick Bockwinkel. Yeah. Going forward in Extreme Rules, Finn Balor defeated Edge in an I Quit match after Mr. Perfect put Ric Flair's head in a cage door, threatening to slam it if the horsemen didn't give up. Mongo hit football boy. Mongo did. The NWO wins, but Perfect slammed the door on Flair's head. Anyway, Beth Phoenix got involved. She was playing the part of Ric Flair right there. I got a piece of hair or something. It's annoying me. Playing the part of Ric Flair on that one. They threatened the concerto if Edge didn't give up. He did. They did it anyway. So win for Finn Balor and the Judgment Day. Bianca Belair defeated Bayley. How about Al Island right there? A little lonely on my island, but take the win on that one. The ladder match to retain the Raw Women's title after the KOD onto a ladder to finish Bayley so she could grab the Hanging Championship. Highlight of the night, of course, by The Miz beating the crap out of Gritty, who was being as gritty could be all night long, annoying the crap out of The Miz. The attack was thwarted by Dexter Lumis, who eventually silenced Miz by putting him to sleep. But who cares? Gritty got beat up. And I enjoyed every second of it.
For once, I was on Miz's side.
Yeah, right? But if you have ever seen Gritty actually is pretty good as far as mascots go. He's a different style. He's definitely a Philadelphia mascot. They do mites on ice, and Grittims go around knocking the kids over. Like, it's actually really funny. So good for that. So I'm just gonna circle back to Liv real quick. So I forgot to give her credit due. That was a proud couple months for our Jersey girl to be SmackDown Women's Champion. She lived the dream. Won a match at SummerSlam, retained her title at SummerSlam, catching a lot of great moments. But John Smith, as we all know, it's tough to beat a team 3 times in the same season. Liv Morgan once again just proved it. It's not that she got her twice, couldn't get her the 3rd time. So here are our results. Here's how we did at Extreme Rules. This Brian Roy guy went perfect. Maybe we should hire him. Maybe we should get some insight. Extending his lead, John LeConnie about 20 points behind. We still got some big shows left. Me and John Smith tied at 145. Beav is right behind. You say we got a train wreck there. Everybody else, but Brian Roy is just running away with it. Got some big shows. We got Survivor Series is big points. The Rumble's always big points. And WrestleMania, of course, is the Bleep show, where it's just points everywhere. So that standings are to be determined. But that's his fifth perfect, and that's why has as big of a lead as he does in the overall standings, which we'll get to after the Bound for Glory segment. So after our fun Extreme Rules, we're gonna rewind to the beginning of the WWE week with NXT. And John Smith, you're going to take this one. I promoted this as a Gary. I figured he was going to take the Pretty Deadly Commonwealth address. But let's just get the graphic right here. Here we go. Boom. John Smith, Pretty Deadly started the show with the State of Commonwealth address. Long story short, they've beaten everyone, so they declared themselves champions forever. Interrupted by Ridge Holland and Butch from the Bowling Brutes. That was pretty crazy. We're looking for a fight. Because it's Tuesday, John Smith. Tuesdays, fight night.
Fight night, and it's also Rusev Day.
It is Rusev Day. It's amazing. Oh.
Good point.
Yeah, so we got the Creeds versus the Brawling Brutes, and then you wonder how the heck are the Brawling Brutes going to even lose this match? You go and figure it's going to end up being like a double count out or something, but they had a hell of a match, and then Imperium interferes. Of course, they make their way over from SmackDown, but somehow there was no disqualification. The referee didn't see any of it, so Pretty Deadly ends up actually just straight up winning the match with their finisher, which was pretty crazy to me.
Little spilled milk. See, I kind of like half get it. Maybe I'm just thinking maybe it should be called spoiled milk because Pretty Deadly doesn't like ugly things. But like spilled milk, there's no use crying. I don't know. I wouldn't want spoiled milk on that one, but yeah, spilled milk's so fun. No use crying over spilled milk. And then there was a Gallus video. I mean, we'll get to that in a second. Because Gallus, part of that video, they still want the tag titles from Pretty Deadly, but as we just found out about an hour ago. There is a number one contenders match tonight on NXT. John Smith, our senior NXT correspondent, all these teams appeared at the end of the show during Pretty Deadly's celebration. I think they kind of upstaged Pretty Deadly on that one, but it was Briggs and Jensen. It was Mehaffy and Blade, and then they're going to throw the Dyad into this as well. So John Smith, as your senior NXT correspondent, what do you got?
I would like to know where the Creed brothers are.
Well,
the Creed brothers.
They got their own thing to do right now.
Yeah, I know. I just wanted to say Creed brothers like Pretty Deadly did at the beginning. This is a number one contenders match.
Really?
What was that? Yeah, it
yeah,
is.
Yeah. Number one. Winner gets Pretty Deadly at some point. Maybe Halloween Havoc. Who knows?
I think they're gonna throw in Mehaffy and Blade a bone on this one, and I don't see them winning the titles, but maybe we could have a Leon Ruff situation on our hands.
Oh, you spoil it. I have a Leon Ruff reference later. Gary.
I'm sorry, I lost stuff for a wee second there.
Yeah, no problem. We have a number one contenders tag team match.
Oh, yes.
Briggs and Jensen, the Dyad.
I figured the Dyad, we had the conversation beforehand how John was saying he feels bad for them because of the way they changed their look. So I can never really go against them, so I'm going to go with the Dyad.
I want to go Grizzly Young Veterans as well. And
yeah,
they've just been so close on so many occasions of winning those belts.
I just think it's funny that you've so many people that Triple H is bringing back and giving them the real names and the real gimmicks, and you still have those two wandering about looking like that. Yeah,
well, this works with Gacy right now. Like, this was too. Like I said, honestly, this wasn't Vince. Remember, Sean took credit for all this.
Yeah.
Sean, this is Sean. This isn't even Vince or Bruce Pritchard. So I think this is kind of like, okay, just deal with this. Apparently, Gacy's going to be a pig in about a week or two. So maybe they get them off TV, let them grow their beards and their hair back. Yeah. John DeConnie.
Yeah, give me the Dyad here, and that'll be a really fun match.
And that was the one team that during the Commonwealth address, Pretty Deadly kind of just be like, I don't want to talk about it. They beaten off the. They haven't beaten off the Blade yet, but they've beaten Briggs and Jensen. I don't think it's going to be those two again. God, please, no, not those two again.
They don't go heel versus heel very often in the tag division, so I don't know if that's going to happen. But I'd love to see it.
Yeah,
it could be the sort of thing. If you're saying about Joe Gacy, it could be the sort of thing actually where if the Dyad do it, lose, Joe Gacy gives him a bit of that. They kind of deck him, send him on his way so they can go and be, as you say, be a pig in a couple of weeks. And then they kind of almost do a heel turn as a heel, but kind of they get him out. But
I don't even know if I do that to Joe Gacy. Like I think Joe Gacy's character is great. I love the music. And then you're going to turn him into Huskus? Like, if I'm Gacy, I'm not happy about that one. Like, can I just stay in NXT? Like, I got something good going here. Like, I got the Grizzled Young Veterans change their eye color for me and shave their beard. I got Zach Gibson to shave his beard for me. Like, let's roll with this for a little bit. I said Gallus did a video promo since they're suspended, but they'll be back soon enough. They set their targets on Briggs and Jensen because of the brawl. They just hate them. They set their sights on Pretty Deadly in the tag team titles, and then Joe Coffey wants Braun Breaker and the NXT Championship. So that will leave Gallus Boys on top. GPOT. Mandy Rose got carjacked by Alba Fire. So the Randy Orton committed arson. How is he going to say Alba Fire did a carjack? How's she going to get a championship? So there was supposed to be a 6-women's tag team match with Toxic Attraction against Alba and Nikita and Zoe Stark. It turned into a number 1 contenders women's tag team match as Alba Fire was off terrorizing Mandy Rose. Stark and Lyons got the job done. So they're up next for Katana and Casey. But before we get to that, I don't know if that's going to be at Halloween Havoc or not. They haven't announced it yet. But tonight, I guess Alba Fire, I don't know if she released Mandy Rose or not, if this is one of those Dexter Loomis situations. It was just a scare and let her go down the road. But tonight's going to be Alba Fire, Gary, going against JC Jane.
yeah, rather her than her tag partner. I'm not who will grow on me at some point, I'm sure. No, Alba Fire seems to be one of these ones. I think she's about to. I was almost going to use this phrase unintentionally to say set NXT on fire, and I don't mean it like that. I didn't mean it to be the worst pun imaginable. I didn't mean that. I do think that Alba Fire is about to be kind of given a bit of a rocket behind her. So
this has got to be Alba Fire, right, John Connie?
Yeah, it's time. And we've messed around with her. She's had a little stop-start, name change, whatever. It's time for her to rise up the ranks and get to that title shot at least.
Yeah, I think she's eventually going to get it, John Smith, and now she'll probably go through JC this week, then GG next week before Halloween Havoc, if that's where they're going to have the title match.
Yeah, I got Alba winning this, but I think she's getting jumped either during the match for DQ or right after she wins. She's getting beat down 3-on-1 by the end of this.
Yeah, there's going to be a post-match attack. Let's see how good of friends Nikita Lyons and Zoe Stark are to Alba Fire, right? Because it was funny in the Icon match. I failed to mention this. Ray tried to come down and help on the beatdown because all the members of AJ was nowhere to be found. Like AJ was just like, screw it. Like he just completely pulled an Humberto Carrillo on that one. So
he had other plans behind the scenes, apparently.
Well, yeah. Duke Hudson having a little fun at Brutus Creed's expense, John the Colony, after all those chair shots by Damon Kemp the week prior. Julius didn't like the comments, so they thought about it.
Indeed, they did. They didn't do it for very long, though. This was a sub 1 minute match. Julius just smacked Hudson around, hit the cartwheel slam, the basement clothesline, 1, 2, 3. And afterwards, Brutus, even who wasn't cleared to do anything, came down and he got a little frustration out on Hudson and his face. But then the attention was taken away by Damon Kemp, who was in the crowd on that riser there in the corner of the building. And he wants Julius at Halloween Havoc, even though he knows Brutus wants another shot at him.
Brutus is pissed.
Brutus is pretty pissed. So he tells Julius, if you beat me, your brother gets his rematch. But if I win, and Julius assumes, oh, let me, I got to leave. You throw me out. And you're like, no, not you. Your brother. And before Julius even gets a chance to say anything, Brutus says he accepts. So away we go.
Yeah, that's a big vote of confidence by Brutus to his older brother. That's bold.
And Julius turned it up a notch and turned it into an ambulance match. So
ambulance.
Ambulance.
Grayson Waller effect with guests Roxanne Perez and Cora Jade. They'll go at it one more time at Halloween Havoc. Apparently, Shawn Michaels is a big Impact Wrestling fan because they just ripped off Pick Your Poison to lead up to Halloween Havoc. So they didn't announce who was going first or what. Obviously, they don't know the poison of it yet, but I don't know if that's going to start tonight. I would think it would start tonight because then we got next week would be the other into Halloween Havoc. So look for a Pick Your Poison match tonight of some sort.
It's Max the Impaler tonight, and then...
it's going to be Max the Impaler tonight, and then Alley Catch with a K going against the. Imagine they just completely ripped off. I haven't heard Pick Your Poison in years. All of a sudden, we got it twice in a matter of a month. Like Shawn Michaels watches Impact. Good for him. I like that. Where was I? Also, for their match at Halloween Havoc, it's spin the wheel, make a deal. And they're not even going to waste any time for a Waller wanted to do it now. So he spun the wheel and it landed Leon Ruff. Oh my God, again. God, Johnny Gargano hates wheels. It's happening again. Just kidding. It actually just landed on a Johnny hates wheels. It landed on a weapons wild match. These two girls are going to beat the crap out of each other. So that will be the stipulation for the match. Then Roxy and Cora, they started brawling, which led to Apollo Crews jumping Waller, dragging him under the ring. And another prophecy comes true as Waller's eyes were all bloody when he came back out of it. There's got a lot of going on in NXT. There's a lot of stuff that's going to be off the card at NXT Halloween Havoc. I don't think we're getting Crews and Waller. We might not get. They have one more. They have 4 matches booked right now, so there's a spot for one more. We got the women's title. We got the women's tag titles. We got Waller and Creed or Waller and Crews. They're not going to have Wendy Chu and Lash Legend John Smith. They just had that last week. Hopefully to end that feud.
Yeah, and Shawn Michaels must share Triple H's affinity for Asian women because he likes the ones with more cake, apparently. Because Wendy Chu it seems she has no business beating Lash Legend, and somehow that happened. And Lash, manhandled her for a while, and then Wendy just reversed a couple things, and then hit a top rope Vader bomb type splash for the 3. Like Lash could have just reached for that rope, didn't even grab for it. Just very short match, and Wendy Chu wins. Crazy.
I just hate Wendy Chu's gimmick. I like Wendy Chu. I think she's not amazing wrestler. She's a good wrestler. And she's got athleticism. She can put her leg up a lot higher than I can, and she's good like that. Lash Legend, Lash Legend's an athlete, former WNBA star. She's a collegiate athlete. Just got to learn how to wrestle. Honk Wankers received an NXT contract after his win over Big Body Javi. Good for him. Then he went to the ring against Zion Quinn, and Zion Quinn beat Honk Wankers. Honk Wankers? Hank Walker. With a flying forearm. Arriba! Post-match attack by Quinn, thwarted by Quincy Elliott. So again, Quincy Elliott stepping into the business of Zion Quinn. Look for that feud to get some steam. Gary, we had a ladder match preview with 2 of the qualifiers for the NXT North American Championship ladder match with Carmelo Hayes and Oru Mensah, who is in your jurisdiction, Ollie Carter.
Yep. It's come across from NXT UK. Yeah, we had Oru hit an arm drag, and there were submission attempts, and then he hit a Hurricane Rana and a side slam. Now, Hayes had a great looking DDT off the apron and went for the pin, but he kicked out. He has fought back and hit a lariat off the ropes. Mensah sent him face first into the turnbuckle. But as we come to the end, Mensah had a kick to the head and a lance-salt and what looked like a spinning back heel kick. Trick Williams jumped in between Hayes and him and Carmelo Hayes, and he took the kick, which allowed Hayes to hit fade away, and Carmelo Hayes pinned Oro Mensah clean-ish, sort of.
Clean as you get Carmelo Hayes, and he was happy to get back onto his winning ways, and he actually sat ringside for the next match, which was the fourth qualifying match for the North American title match. It was Von Wagner. He defeated Andre Chase with this Death Valley suplex. I don't know what else to call it right now. It doesn't have a name. It's like a Death Valley driver, but he goes all the way into the suplex. Doesn't quite jackhammer him, but it just throws him over. So Von Wagner's in. That makes 4. There was a backstage segment with Sanga and Nathan Frazier. Apparently, they're becoming buddy-buddy now. Sanga was a little bummed that he can't be in the ladder match, so he hopes that Nathan Frazier wins it. Interesting. Frazier was all happy and giddy about it, and as he walks away, Veer Mahan rolls up next to Sanga, all suited up, all ready to roll, and I think the NXT Tag Team division might be in trouble if they're going to unleash Veer Mahan on it. So we'll get to that. He was looking quite dapper. We'll get to them, I guess. We'll cross that bridge when we get there. It was a quick little segment. He, did the collar pop, and, he was ready to roll with Sanga. Sanga appreciated the style. But that leads us to the fifth and final qualifying match, Gary. It's the qualifying match for the NXT North American Championship ladder match. The title is currently vacant. That will take place at Halloween Havoc. But it's also match 3 of the best of 3 series. The rubber match between Axiom and Nathan Frazier. We're not getting the British Rounds match, but that doesn't make this match any less important or awesome.
I'm going to go controversial here. I'm going to say that that there's some sort of draw or double DQ or double pin, or that they do something and that they pull them both out of the ladder match, and that they have the rounds match at Halloween Havoc to say that they need to to beat them. And so there's only one way. If this is a draw, there's only one way to do it, and they have the rounds match. And that's when we see eventually. Surely to goodness he has to come at some point.
I love where your head's at, Gary. Love it. If you get Noam Dar, that'd be awesome. John Smith.
That sounds like a fun idea, but if it doesn't happen, I'm going to go with Nathan Frazier because he has a face.
Okay. John DeConnie.
And either one of these guys in the ladder match is going to be fantastic. I'm going to make my pick based on one thing and one thing only. We haven't seen Axiom pull out that moonsault DDT yet.
Mm-hmm.
That's how he wins this match and gets himself into the ladder match.
I like that. And the prediction. Nice. Yeah, I don't think a roll up here. That wouldn't be fun. I got Axiom as well, and I know Nathan Frazier is a Jersey guy from the Isle of Jersey, the homeland, the motherland. I honestly can't pick. I'm just picking Axiom for the sake of just making a pick here. I honestly, exactly, both of these guys would absolutely kill it in that ladder match. It's not like Big Show versus The Miz, where Miz is going to shine in a ladder match. But yes, I said that seriously.
Well, by comparison to Big Show, I would have to agree.
Yeah. This is 1-time Money in the Bank win. I'm just going to Axiom. I maybe just give A-Kid a little bit of a chance here to shine, or excuse me, Axiom a little bit of a chance here to shine.
Can we just put them both in and take Von Wagner
out? Wesley attacked Carmelo Hayes right after the Wagner Chase match, saying it was a receipt from getting his head slammed by him and Trick. Another reference. Interrupted by Stax saying Wesley intentionally injured Tony D in a qualifying match, and actions have consequences. And those might come tonight. So it's going to be Channing Lorenzo, aka Stax, going against Wesley. I am actually shocked. I said it last week that Wesley, I'm shocked that he's not putting his qualifying chance on the line because he didn't actually earn it. Tony D'Angelo got injured, but he's saying that Wesley was the one that injured him. I guess maybe that's the story they're doing here, John Smith. But Wesley and Stix.
I'm going to go with Stax using some brass knucks or something.
Wow. Guy Mehaffy.
I'm going to go the opposite. I'm going to say Wesley, unless This is like if Tony D isn't just as injured as everybody thinks, that he might come back and get involved. But if he's not, I'm going to say Wesley goes over.
John the Connie, the smart thing here would just let Wesley go into this ladder match uninjured, and so that if he wins, then that's when Tony D attacks, because he's hell bent on that North American title, and I think he would get much joy out of taking it off of Wesley.
Absolutely,
rather than Von Wagner.
So if this one is just Stacks and Wesley, I'll say Wesley takes it to build that all important momentum going into the ladder match. But like Gary said, if this is a kayfabe injury on Tony D and there's going to be some storyline where he jumps Wesley tonight, then who the hell knows? But I'm going to assume it's a straightforward match and Wesley takes it.
Yeah, this has to be a kayfabe. I don't think he's injured. I think this has to be because he just kind of he just banged his knee on the mat as he went face first into the turn. This wasn't like a.
You can blow out.
Ilya Dragunov's up next on my list here, like that. You saw his ankle completely twist the wrong direction, and he still finished the match to his credit.
I'm gonna have to disagree with you there. I think that was a completely legit injury. That looked way too real. That was a way too good of acting by the referee, by Wesley, but for that to have been fake. I don't think it was fake at all.
This is what they're paid to do, though. They're paid to act.
Yeah, but he would be screaming. They would have kept the match going. Wesley would have been stomping on the knee, and then they would have ended the match. They wouldn't have just from a basically non-contact, it's like freaking a wide receiver blowing out his knee on a cut.
Ilya Dragunov video package. He's pretty pissed. He was injured for Worlds Collide. Can't change the past, but he can change the future. Can you change the future? Anyway, so he's gonna beat Braun. Braun now. JD McDonough video promo saying he's gonna let Braun and Ilya take each other out of Halloween Havoc, allowing him to win the NXT title. Meanwhile, our champion had a run-in with Big Body Javi. And Big Body Javi decided to piss off the champion. They're going to go at it tonight. Go big or go home, Javi. Let's go, buddy. John the Connie.
Yeah, I think this one's slotted in the Julius Creed Duke Hudson window. This will be a sub 60-minute smash.
John Smith, time limit draw?
Time limit draw.
60-minute Broadway.
60-minute Broadway.
Even the words "big body Javi" make me cringe.
I don't seriously then.
No, it's I'm taking it for exactly what it is. I think it's just. I think that's what I'm supposed to feel when I hear that.
You're supposed to fucker every time you hear him say that.
Yeah, exactly. He gives me weird vibes. I don't know. I'll probably always pick him to lose.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, Gary.
I'm gonna go down the Sheamus and Daniel Bryan at WrestleMania route. This will be straight in. He looks at him and goes, "Put on both straight over."
I don't think Big Body Hobbs gonna have anybody kissing him at ringside though. So that would do it for NXT. Gary, thank you so much for staying up with us late as always. And I think you went pain free. I didn't see any grimaces. I didn't hear any of that elephant noise you did in pre-production.
I'm trying not to move. Although I will say for this week's NXT, I'm looking forward to see how many times we hear "shucky ducky quack quack."
Yes.
On comments.
No more Wade Barrett. Wade Barrett's going to be on SmackDown. Huh? Good for him.
Yeah.
I thought this was a wasted opportunity, missed opportunity here. Okay, so Jimmy Smith is gone. I'm not the British accent. No offense, Gary. If it's not NXT UK, I kind of don't want my play-by-play guy to have it. I thought Kevin Pat. You could have brought Morrow back. Come on, Hunter. I'm sure he made the phone call, but this was the perfect chance to promote Vic up to Raw, or even just put Morrow on Raw.
I heard a little bit of Raw. I didn't see much of it. I heard a little bit and listened to the commentary, and I went, "No, Kevin, you're not long for this world on the commentary there, mate." I don't think.
Nothing. Kevin hasn't earned it. He's hosted the pre-shows. He's great at what he does. I'd rather him just do all the backstage stuff. Meanwhile, Coach got them. Not Coach Saxton. That was Tad racist. Saxton got demoted. That's unfortunate for Saxton. He's been there forever. Now he's got to go back to interviewing people in the back. Anyway, but Gary, thank you so much for staying up with us. We will talk to you next week.
Have a good one. See you later.
Feel better, Gary.
What's wrong with the British announcers, though? Like, Lord Alfred Hayes was the man, remember?
I remember him more as a backstage guy, though. You know, it's not
promotional consideration. Yeah.
Like, that was awesome. Yeah, that's my childhood right there.
It actually was it caught me off guard. I was rewatching the house show that eventually was released on VHS of Bret Hart beating Flair, and it was Monsoon and Lord Alfred Hayes calling the match. I'm like, wow, this just feels weird.
No, it didn't feel right at all. I'm sure they agreed with each other. Like, that's not.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. They got along too well.
So we're gonna run through. We're running a little late right now. We had a little too much fun with NXT. So we'll see what we can do here. John Smith, we'll give you all the time you want on this one though, because I think you've been waiting for this. Hit Row is in the ring. Hit Row. Everyone's laughing, having a good time, and then we see Zelina Vega.
Zelina Vega with blonde hair.
Yeah. And
then all of a sudden, 3 masked luchas come in the ring, and it was like a callback to when El Hijo del Fantasma won the Cruiserweight Championship tournament a few years ago.
That was like episodes 1 through 5 of the Essential Wrestling Podcast. I remember Kushida was that was my pick.
Yeah, so a bunch of stellar moves to beat the crap out of Hit Row because they got jumped, and then they reveal themselves to be Legado del Fantasma, but without Elektra Lopez, which is weird. I'm not going to hate on it just yet because I really think Zelina Vega was great as Andrade's mouthpiece back in the day, and I think she's better served in this type of role than being Queen Zelina or like trying to just be like a straight up wrestler. So I'm interested to see where it goes. I'd like to see maybe eventually Elektra Lopez get involved because I think she's done a hell of a job down in NXT. And, I think she shined in that one street fight she had with, I forget who actually. Was it Lash Legend?
Lash? Yeah, I want to say it was Lash.
Yeah.
No, it was 2 people that were very green, and it was like, oh, that was a hell of a match by those 2.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, no, it was B-Fab, actually.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so, like, what that even makes me feel more like Elektra should be there. But, I love that Legato's, around. They run the bingo, and we'll see where this goes.
Yeah, I like Zelina Vega. All this tells me right now is that 1, Andrade is not coming back anytime soon. 2, Aleister Black's not coming back anytime soon. And 3, so Aleister Black left, Malachi Black left with mental problems, and he probably needs his wife right now. And I'm not back on TV. Sorry. If you want her, you got to come work with me. Touche, Hunter. Touche. But Elektra wasn't really a mouthpiece for Legado. That's the thing. I don't think Santos needs one. That's where my confusion is nothing against either or. I don't know. So see what happens. Yeah, exactly. To be determined. The Viking Raiders, speaking of wrestlers' wives, Viking Raiders video package. Don't confuse their absence with weakness, followed by a female voice saying Valhalla awaits. I do not think that was Natalie Portman from Thor: Love and Thunder. I do believe that was Mama Logan. So, looking like we're going to get a female Viking into this, and that's going to be a lot of fun. Raquel Rodriguez and Shotzi. Again, that team. Raquel and Shotzi. What the hell? Didn't they hate each other like a month ago? Defeated Sonya Deville and Xia Li after Conchita Bomb on Sonya. Damn it, Sonya. We got a match coming up this Friday. Maxine Dupree was yelling at Max for attacking the Maximum Male models the week prior. Max corrects her, saying he's L.A. Knight. Yeah, I'm shocked they didn't call her a dummy, but I guess we'll cross that. Maybe that was more of an Eli Drake thing. The dummy button, right? Remember that, dude? Dummy. Yeah, that was a lot of fun. So we're gonna have L.A. Knight and Maswa, John Connie.
Yeah. And Mace can get involved too. LA Knight's going over.
John Smith.
LA Knight all day. I just hope he gets time for a promo.
Is like, I think I'm kind of hoping just to make sure they keep their jobs and they're still on TV. Like, I still want Maximum Male Models to be a thing. As long as they have Maxine with them, I think they can still be a thing, right? Like, that's
absolutely.
All right. Now we're going to go from a whole lot of Bloodline right now. All right. In-ring promo with the Bloodline interrupted by Logan Paul, who immediately tries to start a riff amongst the Bloodline, questioning who's in charge. Roman or Jey Uso? This is the first time we've SpongeBob wrestlers. Logan Paul spreading rumors to get the Bloodline all the tiff. John DeConnie, I guess they a little scuffle happened. It was calmed down by Sami, but it led into the first match of the evening.
Indeed, which was Solo Sikoa going up against Ricochet. And they gave him about 9 minutes, and it was exactly what you would think it would be. Ricochet flew all over the place, and Solo Sikoa occasionally would ground him with some severe violence and the kind of stuff that you want from your muscle, your enforcer. And it ended with Ricochet going for the shooting star press and landing on his feet, and Sikoa basically catching him, spinning him around into the spinning solo for the 1, 2, 3.
And then back in the locker room, Roman actually agreed with Sami that Jey is a hothead, but now I guess he dubbed Sami. It's Sami's problem. Sami, you know what? You think it's okay? Deal with it. So
how has Jay's head literally not exploded at this point?
Yeah.
Every time Roman gives credit to Sami or agrees with Sami or does something with Sami, it's fantastic.
And then I think we're getting what I wanted. I'd like to thank Triple H for watching. I know Triple H watches every week. Thank you so much for listening to this idea. This is going to be a lot of fun. Hope they can stretch this out for to December. The New Day ran into Sami and the Usos. The New Day, of course, have some jokes. Sami told the New Day to find the partner, meet them in the ring. The New Day found Braun Strowman and a victory over the Bloodline after Kofi landed a double stomp on Jimmy, who was draped over Woods' knee, demolition style. John Smith this week on Friday Night SmackDown. We're going to continue here with the Bloodline and the New Day as Kofi Kingston goes against Sami Zayn. Sami Uso.
I will go with Sami Uso on this one.
Sami Uso on that one. John DeConnie.
Before last night, I would have said Sami without even batting an eye.
Yeah.
Now I don't know if we're going to continue with the Bloodline taking singles losses and pissing off Roman, or if Roman's going to show up and say, "I told you to make sure the honorary Uso won last time. This time you better make sure he wins." Yep. I'm going to go with Sami because I think that's more fun for me.
Yeah, John DeConnie, and then we're going to make the seamless transition, staying with the Bloodline to Monday Night Raw, and that's exactly where we're going to explain to what you're talking about. The Bloodline started the show. Sami was trying to level with Jey, telling him to be cool, like the rest of them. Roman was allowing it, which was pissing off Jey even more. Interrupted by Riddle, who, as we know, hates the Bloodline for injuring Randy. Can't challenge for the title, though, due to a prior roster loan to Roman. Oh, my God. This is a new era in WWE. They're bringing up results from wrestlers' matches past. Riddle's not allowed to challenge. So good work at Triple H and the research department, making sure that they keep up with that. All right, where was I? But come on, bro. One more time. Roman said, nah, but Riddle wants someone. Crowd chanted for Sami. Jey pushed Sami to do it. So Sami said he was going to do it. Roman eventually left the Barclays Center, John DeConnie, on the Batman turntable. So at the Barclays Center, the cars, the tunnel from the street, they go in and they have a Batman turntable to turn the trucks around, so they don't have to back out. It's really cool. It takes forever to turn the truck around, but it's really cool. Roman eventually left the Barclays Center with Solo Sikoa because Heyman has them set up to do New York. Roman instructed Jey to stay behind and make sure Sami wins. So now John DeConnie goes a little deeper detail with what you were just talking about.
Yeah. He said, make sure my honorary Uso gets the W tonight. So Jey and Jimmy were at ringside for Riddle versus Sami Zayn. And because Sami's not just good on the mic, it was a hell of a match for 16 plus minutes. But when Riddle started to get the upper hand, Jay was up on the apron, and Sami made a point of telling him, I got this. Don't worry about it. I got this. Let me take care of it. I'm the honorary Oos. Let me handle my business. And he got Riddle, he got him up for the Blue Thunder Bomb. But as he spun him around, Riddle turned that into an RKO for the 1-2-3. Roman didn't get what Roman wanted, so Friday night it'll be interesting to see what the fallout from that is.
Now Jay didn't listen. Sami got caught. This is oof. I don't know. Jay's going to be PCO in this case. I think Jay's going to be the one getting reamed out because he was the one that didn't listen. He listened to Sami and not Roman. Yep. So, damn it, Logan Paul starting rumors. This is.
Where did that even come from? Am I talking to the tribal chief Roman Reigns or the tribal chief Jey Uso?
Yeah, I had no idea. Yeah, it literally came out of left field and it has no merit to it, and yet it's working.
And no one's taking orders from Jey Uso. He's just the loudest one. He's the squeaky wheel.
John Smith. We went right after that. We got Rey Mysterio and Chad Gable. Man, I would have loved the Cruiserweight Championship to be on the line for this one.
Yeah. Well, we didn't get exactly the match we would want between these two. Started off a little clinic by Gable, of course, just, making Mysterio look like a fool with a little bit of chain wrestling. And then Mysterio gains the upper hand. And right when he does, Judgment Day comes out. But it's just Rhea and Dom. Go to commercial, come back. Gable's got the upper hand again. But Ray quickly, takes advantage and hits a Hurricane Rana and a 619 for the win. So then Dom gets in the ring and he's begging Ray to hit him. Begging Ray to hit him. Won't hit him. Eventually, there goes a box. Eventually, the Judgment Day comes out, or the rest of the Judgment Day come out to attack Ray, but he fends them off. But then Dom attacks him from behind. Rhea holds his arms down while Dom hits him with the 619. Then Ray leaves the ring crying. We see that from the commercial break. But
he was in tears. Heartbroken.
Judgment Day's still in the ring. And they call out AJ Styles because he's family to Finn and he wants him to join the Judgment Day or else. AJ Styles comes out, says that he does need some family in his life, and he gives Finn a big hug and then says, I wasn't talking about you. And then out comes Sex Ferguson and Karl Anderson. The OC is back together, and now we got a feud between the Judgment Day and the OC, and I couldn't be more happy.
I am so upset right now. I am in the process of moving. My OC shirt is packed away at my parents' house right now in storage. I'm like, yes, I get to wear my. Damn it, I don't have it. I was gonna totally pop with my OC shirt on today. I popped for that. Like I said, I missed. I was off social media. I completely missed the report that they were talking to WWE. So I was, genuinely surprised with a smile on my face that I didn't know that and something happened.
Unfortunately for me, I read something that said that they were likely going to be coming back when I was scrolling through Facebook, not even trying to see something. I hate the internet. I hate it.
Yeah, the OC is back together, the original club. Nice. Johnny Gargano defeated Austin Theory after a one final beat DDT, but before he hit that, he went flying. Theory was on the outside. Johnny went flying through the ropes and hit another DDT before that and absolutely crushed Theory. You can even hear the now. I think it was Graves. Oh man, Theory's in trouble now, and he was, and that was the end of it. DDT. And Johnny sold when hitting the back flat on it too. Very very good match between the two. Johnny Gargano with the win. Wife did the same. Backstage with damage control. Dakota did most of the talking, showing her love for Bayley and what Bayley has done for her. Io Sky had some nice things to say as well. I don't know if you guys translate. I was able to translate that. Very heartfelt by Io Sky. Bayley's going to take out her frustrations on Candice LeRae, and Kind of did with the post-match attack. Candice LeRae, check one. Raw roll-up. Welcome to the show, Candice LeRae. Raw roll-up on Bayley, reversing the Rose Plant. Then paid for it. Actually got jumped by Kai and Sky. Thwart attempt by Bianca Belair. Didn't work out so well. She got her ass kicked too. Asuka and Alexa Bliss doing their best Humberto Carrillo impersonation. No showing the thwart attempt. Not good friends right there. Omos defeated Joey Ace and Chico. AKA Twin Action, as is tradition. Did actually see Neilio Cuomo Castro, or whatever the guy's name is, that Brian Roy interviews all the time for CCW, Coastal Championship. I guess Chico's a CCW guy, so Neilio was all happy, congratulating Chico. And he got a segment with DX, which is, you know what? I can't say that. So good for those guys. They have to be on screen with Degeneration. Albeit being made fun of. A lot of tongue-in-cheek stuff. Elias returns next week. Get excited. I guess this beard goes back really fast, I guess. I think that's what we were waiting for, right? Elias returns next week. And the video promo thing, it was his old NXT music. Now, that was some great guitar playing, and it made it for like a hot second before when it was on Raw, and then they switched it. If you want to hear some good guitar riffs, and I'm pretty sure Elias was playing the guitar, go to YouTube. The song is called Drifted. It was you'll see a picture of Elias Sampson. You know, Elias is the last name. It's the Sampson family. Very good. So I'm excited that they're returning to that music. It's called Drift. Bobby Lashley did an in-ring promo before his title defense, John DeConnelly, saying he wants to be a fighting champion for the people. Rattled off his list. I beat this guy. I beat this guy. I beat this guy. And then that guy showed up.
Seth Rollins, get your ass out here to take your butt whooping. But he didn't get Seth Rollins.
No.
Instead, he got Cowboy Brock. And Brock comes out, takes off his hat, says hello to the fans, says hello to Bobby, and in the process of finishing that sentence, scoops him up, F5, German, F5, Kimura, and then, how do you do? That's the end of the night for Brock. He takes off, which brings Seth Rollins out right after the break, and he's demanding that now Lashley's being attended to by the medical staff, and he's in such bad shape, but Seth's got a title match, so he's got to do it, right? He's got broken ribs too. I think I heard him say, "My ribs are broken. I'm fighting. Let's go." He's banged up too, but still, Bobby is inching towards that aisle like he's headed backstage. Then he calls him out as a champion, and that gets his attention as a former champion. And he calls him out as a former soldier. That gets him back into the ring. And the bell rings for the U.S. title match. Bobby goes for a spear right away. And I know this is the second time that Seth has done it, but that is the greatest counter of all time, countering the spear into the pedigree. He only gets a 2 count. Rollins goes up, hits a frog splash, still only gets a 2 count. It's going back and forth, back and forth. It's only a 2.5 minute match, but Lashley's still kind of in it, and then there's a stop. And then just to make sure there's another stop. And a 1, 2, 3, and new U.S. champion, Seth freaking Rollins.
Yeah, for the second time in his career, he wins the U.S. title at the Barclays Center. Yeah, he won that title for title match at SummerSlam against John Cena, where what was his name? Jon Stewart didn't want Ric Flair's record to be broken. So right. He lost John Cena the match. So Brock Lesnar and Bobby Lashley were going to get at it again. They competed, they fought. Bobby Lashley beat Brock Lesnar for the WWE Championship at the Royal Rumble this past January, and Brock won it back in the chamber, but Lashley technically was in it, was injured right off the bat, didn't really compete. So Lesnar and Lashley never really had the rematch. So I think that's still fresh on Brock's mind. It was only about 9 months ago.
Sure.
So there was a post-match interview with Bobby Lashley. He wants Brock to show up next week on Raw to see when and where in Brock's contract he's allowed to fight again. Pretty sure Lesnar will have Crown Jewel open on his schedule. There was a weird video package with a deep voice repeating, "Revel in what you are." Something to that music, too. But revel in what you are. So now we're past Bray Wyatt. This is not Bray Wyatt, even though there was another QR code somewhere during the show. I didn't check and see what, or I didn't see even if there was one in the crowd, too. I would have loved to have seen, that's great advertising. Hey, is that Bray Wyatt? No, it's porn. Is this Retribution again? Like, is this Mustafa Ali? Because that was that voice changing thing again that he was doing in front of the. I think this is Mustafa Ali and Retro. I think T-Bar. I think T-Bar is making a comeback. They're going to re-sign Slapjack sponsored by Popeye's Chicken. I think we're getting a Retribution reborn here, boys. Get excited. Mrs. birthday celebration ruined by Dexter Lumis. Just going to leave it at that. No, still no explanation why Lumis is continuing to torment the Miz. But Miz is pissed. He approached DX, who were backstage. Like I said, he was motivating the two in ashes that were going to get destroyed by Omos. Looking for Triple H. Road Dogg, I guess, got rehired, right? Like, Road Dogg has this authority. They were kind of joking around that he didn't, but I think he kind of does, right? Like, didn't he take Jeff Jarrett's job?
I think so.
Let's double up Gary. I forgot to bring that up. Gary with the Jeff Jarrett references during the Extreme Rules Pick'em article. Unbelievable. Road Dogg put together a little proposition for the Miz next week. You got Miz versus Dexter Lumis. If the Miz win, Lumis is gone. If Dexter Lumis wins, then Dexter Lumis got the contract. So apparently Dexter Lumis has been breaking and entering and doing all this stuff illegally the entire time, and the Miz just has not been pressing charges. So John Smith, I know you're a big Dexter Lumis fan. It's unfortunate that he has to lose this. Maybe they can hire him on SmackDown after the Miz wins.
Well, it's a WWE contract that he wins, not a Raw contract.
That's correct.
He's winning this, obviously. He'll probably stay on Raw, too, because he'll end up feuding with the Miz for a while, I'm thinking.
Yep. John Connie?
Yeah, we need to have Dexter around, and Miz is one of those guys. A loss never hurts him, so it doesn't really matter.
Degeneration X, they started the show using a lot of the language they said they weren't going to use back in a press conference or some type of State of the Union address back in 1997, but I guess that's during the hours of 9 and 10, we will refrain from using damn. Yeah, I can't go into it.
Bleep, bleepity, bleep,
yeah,
bleep.
And bitch. Degeneration X celebrated 25 years. Just hit all the classic catchphrases. Shout out to China. I forgot they were married. Pac and China.
They were?
Wasn't X-Pac and China married?
I know they dated. I didn't know that they were married.
No, they made a video.
I know they made a video. I didn't watch that video.
You ever seen the Mickey James
I have to
video?
watch Paige's video again. I think I have to watch Paige's video. I still don't know if what.
You ever see the Mickey James video?
I haven't. No.
No, I've seen a photo shoot. I didn't know there was a video.
Oh,
I heard there was a video. I just can't find it. Billy Gunn had a crowd mention Nothing Crazy and Just a Selly by DX, and that's how they went off the air. They did tease. They did show us again Bray Wyatt from Extreme Rules. Apparently, he's going to be showing up on SmackDown on Friday. I think people were kind of expecting him on Raw. I feel like it's a better decision to put him on SmackDown. Like I said in pre-production, you just keep him away from Randy Orton, keep him away from Alexa Bliss. Just like because that was the last time we saw him was WrestleMania 37. That huge Jack in the Box that Alexa Bliss came out in the Black Blood mess or whatever, and then Randy Orton won a match he had no business winning. Apparently, that was a knee-jerk reaction. We all got that one wrong.
Yep.
And then, like I said, Randy Orton committed arson against Bray Wyatt at WrestleMania 33 and got a title shot. AJ Styles is still not happy about it. Neither am I. So that will take us away from WWE Monday Night Raw as we make the transition to AEW. AEW Dynamite. Whoa.
That company's still around?
What's that?
That company is still around?
AEW is still around, and actually they had a big match, John DeConnie, Hangman Page and Roosh on Wednesday night. I think was that the third anniversary? Or was that 2 weeks ago?
Yeah, that was the 3rd anniversary show. Yes, sir.
Yeah, 3rd anniversary. Congratulations, 3 years. Right.
Yeah.
When does their Hall of Fame start? And our first inductee, Sting!
Oh, Jesus. You know that's happening, too.
Exactly.
Or, like, Eddie Guerrero, just to, like, be...
Yeah, Owen Hart and Eddie Guerrero.
Yeah, Owen Hart's good.
Yes. So we had Hangman versus Roosh. And they only went for about 9 minutes because this could have been a pay-per-view quality match, and it was very entertaining. Roosh hit a straight jacket pile driver for 2, and Hangman got out of it, but he rolled to the corner. That's a bad spot if you're facing El Toro Blanco. So Roosh lined him up for the Bull's Horn. Hangman jumped to his feet to cut him off with a clothesline, and that set him up perfectly to step out onto the apron and hit the buckshot lariat for the win. Afterwards, Private Party was out. They walked down Hangman like they were going to do something, but Jon Moxley came out through the crowd. Private Party backed off. Moxley was trying to make sure, not to mess with his main event coming down the line. And he explained that he had been waiting for this match with Hangman for 3 years, and it's 13 days away in Cincy.
Yeah, it's going to be. I mean, I'm intrigued on what NXT does to counter, if anything at all, because that's going to be the go-home show for Halloween Havoc. That's what I'll be watching. But so it was Jose and Roosh that instructed Private Party. Andrade couldn't make it to the arena, huh? That night, busy.
I think he might have been there at one point, but not for long.
No. MJF defeated Wheeler Yuta after MJF reversed the seatbelt roll-up into the salt of the earth, getting out of the Raw roll-up, MJF. And AEW trying to extend their league, and Max being the ultimate heel that he is. No. No Raw roll-up for you. Post-match, Yuta extended his hand. Max looked hesitant. Lee Moriarty attacked Wheeler Yuta, which Max didn't instruct him to do, so that was pretty interesting. Stokely handed Max his ring, which prompted Regal to make his way down with his brass knucks and chase Max off. That was an interesting little rift between MJF and the Stokely Hathaway and Jade Cargill's baddies. This is not what I'm telling you to do. No, I didn't tell you to do. No, why are you handing me a ring? Now you pissed off Regal. Thanks. Great. I have one ring. He's got a whole handful of brass knucks. What am I supposed to do with that? So I'm intrigued to see what that goes to. Prince Nana, John DeConnie, he reintroduced us to the Embassy, which includes Brian Cage, who's not making his return, but his arrival. How'd that work?
Yeah, I mean, this is a match that this almost should have been. This should have been a pay-per-view match.
I got intrigued by this one.
Yeah, this one should not have been, and this wasn't even when Excalibur was doing his impersonation of the Micro Machine Man at the end of Rampage the week before and telling us what was going to be on Dynamite for the next week. This one wasn't even booked yet. This was, released on Twitter, the day before or something like that. This is Wardlow and Brian Cage for the TNT Championship. They went almost 10 minutes, and it was 10 minutes of beautiful big man violence with a little bit of high flying because both men had that in their repertoire as well. And then Cage thought he had the upper hand for a moment and, did the whole Kevin Nash putting the cigarette out on Wardlow's back, and he's going to give him a power bomb. And, Wardlow was having none of that. He escaped. He countered with a couple of headbutts and that big gorilla lariat that he does, and then hit 4 consecutive power bombs in the symphony to get the 1, 2, 3. But he didn't get a lot of time to celebrate. So Wardlow defended the TNT Championship, but he got jumped by the Gates of Agony right afterwards, and he had to get saved by Samoa Joe. But Samoa Joe was still outnumbered, so FTR came out to make things even, and that's the point where the Embassy kind of backed off.
Yeah, and they're gonna continue with everything because on Friday night on AEW #BotBiv. FTR had to defend the Ring of Honor tag team titles against the Gates of Agony. They won the match with the Royal roll-up. Then here we go again, post-match attack. by the embassy on FTR. Here comes Wardlow for the save, but now it's a 3-on-1 because FTR is already out of it. And then here comes Samoa Joe again with the save. So we got a little. I think the embassy maybe needs another member here. Does Prince Nana wrestle? I'm just not familiar with this Ring of Honor group here, but I am very impressed with the Gates of Agony. I thought they were very impressive. I think they're really good.
Absolutely, yeah. And Nana's a money man. I think he wrestled back in the day, but he's been in the business for like 20 plus years. So
is he the guy that emailed me and I had to give him like $5,000?
Probably, but he could buy the next hired gun to make this 4-on-4 thing happen and still be at ringside to cause trouble himself.
Darby Allin defeated Jay Lethal with the Last Supper. Check one more for AEW. Both Sanjay and Satnam appeared on the ramp, which Jay wasn't happy about. Jay told him to stay back. Darby extended his hand post-match. Jay upheld the code of honor and walked away pretty pissed off. Mostly, the loss is one thing, but it was kind of Satnam and Sanjay just standing on the ramp when they weren't supposed to. Friday night, John the County was also Pac night. Pac back-to-back title defenses, which Chris Jericho appreciated. I heard him say, I didn't do this once. It's hard. He beat The Rock and Stone Cold in the same back-to-back consecutive matches. Pac teamed up with the Lucha Brothers to retain the trio's titles against the Dark Order after Roosh came out, handed Pac the ring hammer. So Pac could crack Reynolds in the head with it for the win. So check one title defense for Pac. Then they went from Rampage. I think they went over Rampage. I think the countdown clock in the corner went past 0 for about a minute, and then they went to the Bot Biv Battle of the Belts 4, and Pac opened the contest. He beat Trent Beretta to retain the All Atlantic title again after using the ring hammer to crack Trent in the head. That's 2 hammer shots to the head, 2 victories for Pac, and 1 pissed off Orange Cassidy, who was hit in the head a couple of weeks ago. And now we have the rematch, John Smith, this Wednesday night for the All-Atlantic title. Jane will be playing loud in the arena as Orange Cassidy makes his way to the ring, challenging Pac for the All-Atlantic Championship.
I have a feeling they're putting this belt on Orange Cassidy. He hasn't had a belt yet, so I think they're going to pull the trigger on it, unfortunately. I'm a huge Pac guy, but I got to go with Orange here.
All right, John Connie, this match is being held in Canada, which affects nothing with this match.
Very true.
Neither of these guys are Canadian, so we're good.
But you know who is Canadian? Ethan Page. Anyway, so yeah, I think I had the asinine assumption a little while ago that Orange Cassidy was going to take this off him the first time to get it over the Ethan Page. So maybe this is where it starts. I'll take Cassidy here, especially since there's no points on the line when I'm wrong again.
I'm not betting against Pac. I just can't do it. Not against that Orange Cassidy. I see what you're saying. I hear you, and I'm understanding you. I'm just saying no. I just don't agree with it.
I get it, but no.
You're wrong.
Toni Storm, Athena, and Willow Nightingale defeated Serena Deeb, Jamie Hayter, and Penelope Ford after a doctor bomb. How about that? Rampage Brown. He lives. By Willow Nightingale on Penelope Ford. Post-match, a brawl ensued, started by Saraya and Britt Baker. And then I do believe a cocky and overconfident Willow Nightingale got her ass whooped by Jade Cargill. Actually, I shouldn't say that because it was about a 7-minute match. I bought Biv as a scrolling cross down the bottom. Yeah, 7:32. But irrelevant. We have a tag team match this week, John Smith. Toni Storm, Hikaru Shida versus Britt Baker, Jamie Hayter. Big time match here.
That is a pretty tough one. I'm going to go with Britt and Jamie, though.
All right. John County.
Yeah, I agree. Whoever Tony's going to face next, I think a lot of people are hoping it's going to be Hayter, but it'll probably wind up being Baker. But either way, one of them gets a win here, and that sets up the singles match somewhere down the line.
Okay. The one thing I love about AEW, I don't know if I've said this before, but I know I'm going to echo what a lot of people say. The one thing I love about AEW is it's wrestling. It's pro wrestling at its finest, at its purest. You have guys like William Regal and Bryan Danielson and really, it's pure National Scissoring Day was last Wednesday. There was a lot there. And here's the thing, though. The crowd was just eating it up. They were just absolutely loving every single second of it. Everybody loves the Acclaimed.
Hey, if they were crapping on each other, those fans would go ape bleep for it, okay? So let's not take their opinions as,
everyone loves the Acclaimed except Swerve Strickland, who's still pissy. Billy Gunn cost him and Keith Lee the tag team titles. They're going to go at it on Dynamite. We're going to pick that in a second. But for whatever reason, Mark Sterling still wants Swerve out of AEW. I can't remember why. Can we just stop with this? Like, this is
exactly.
I forgot why this is all happening. So anyway, we got Swerve Strickland and we got Billy Gunn, who unfortunately was unable to attend Raw to celebrate the 25th anniversary show. John McConney. Pretty sure Tony Khan. You guys can wrestle whatever you want. You can go to Impact. Sure. You can go to Japan. Do what you want.
Exactly. The rumor is WWE offered everything they could come up with to try and make that happen. So
you know what? I get it, but I don't. Maybe they muted the replay or whatever that I watched. I didn't hear any daddy ass or scissor chants during the DX thing. Everybody was caught up with the DX moment. I feel like if Billy was there, the scissors in the crowd and everything. So.
No, it worked out exactly how it should have. Road Dogg did the Outlaws entrance and let the fans mention Billy, and that was perfect. So as far as Swerve and Billy, I mean, we haven't seen Keith Lee in a little while. I'm thinking that the Acclaimed is at ringside and somehow lets Billy get the win here. I don't know what the build is to, if it's still 3-on-2 between Acclaimed and Swerve in Our Glory because they still have Billy there, but I think Billy gets the win here.
John Smith.
What's the match again? Sorry.
Billy Gunn versus Swerve Strickland.
Yeah, I'll go with Billy Gunn. He's finally over, so he's got to ride it.
I think the Gun Club gets involved here. So I'm going to go with Swerve. I don't think Keith Lee's going to get involved. I mean, Keith Lee's pissed. He made a crack, the only reason why he wanted to be, whatever. He's pissed. He's not going to, I don't think he's going to help Swerve, but that's fun comment. Swerve on Twitter took a crack at, hey, the forgotten member of DX, and somebody commented, well, you're the forgotten member of Hit Row. Oh, my God. Luchasaurus defeated Fuego del Sol, who has been demoted to inaction, apparently. He didn't even get on the graphic on that one. That was an inaction match for Luchasaurus. Fuego del Sol, 26 seconds with the cutthroat. Post-match attempt thwarted by Jungle Boy, who's ready to take on Luchasaurus. We're not going to wait for Full Gear for this one. I thought maybe we were. Maybe we're still going to get it at Full Gear, John the Connie. Jungle Jack Murray.
Yeah, what do they do here? Because that should be at the next pay-per-view. So Luchasaurus wins here because Christian gets involved, so we can continue this along the way.
John Smith. I mean, we got to put Christian, at least motivational wrestler of the year here, still getting involved even after having shoulder surgery.
He's so courageous.
He is.
Yeah, I'm going to second what John said.
Yeah, it's got to go with Luchasaurus on this one. Then the main event last week, Les Sex Gods. Why was Sammy Guevara there? What got thrown out? Les Sex Gods defeated Bryan Danielson and Daniel Garcia after Jericho hit Garcia with the Ring of Honor title, allowing Sammy to cover for the pin. Post-match selly by the Jericho Appreciation Society as Danny Garcia laying in the ring. Jericho and Bryan Danielson for the Ring of Honor Championship tonight, John Smith, in Canada, albeit on the other side of the country where Jericho is from. But I guess you're a Canadian, it's still all one big happy family up there.
Man, this is actually pretty tough, too. But I feel like if they were to have Daniel Bryan win it, it would be on pay-per-view. But I say that a lot, and that I'm wrong, so... You know what? I'm always wrong on AEW, so I'm going to go with Bryan Danielson on this one because I would have picked Jericho.
All right. I do believe this is the third time they but I know Danielson won the tournament match. Jericho won the one, but no, Danielson won both of these, right? John the Con. I don't remember who won the first one. It was the first. It was the wrestling with the Lionheart. I remember, and I want to say it was at All Out. But
why can't I remember that? I really should.
Anyway, but the one thing I guess at BotBiv, we could probably do that again for Battle of the Belts 5, even if the I's not there. We can still get the BotBiv out of the V.
Sure, why not?
Yeah. Claudio Castagnoli, he's trying to stay away from being Cesaro, so he's actually going to. He's not happy he lost the Ring of Honor title. Not happy the way he lost it by hook or crook means with Jericho at Grand Slam. It doesn't matter who wins, even if it is Danielson. Even if we have a little Blackpool combat violence on violence here. He wants his title back. He wants a shot. So we got Castagnoli waiting in the wings for the winner.
Yeah, and for that reason, I think Jericho finds a way to retain, and then he probably cheats to beat Danielson, cheats to beat Castagnoli in the rematch, and then, like you said, it probably goes to a pay-per-view where hopefully then Bryan Danielson wins, because this whole gimmick is he's going to desecrate Ring of Honor. Yeah. So while he's certainly done some of that so far, he needs to do a few more despicable things before everyone's in a froth, and then someone needs to take that title off of him.
Yeah, I'm going to look up. He wants to go through all the former champions, if I remember correctly. I'm just going to pull up the list right now because a couple of them are still active. Gresham's gone. Bandito he just did. PCO, that'd be fun. Roosh. Dalton Castle will be around and get the crap out of Dalton Castle. Cody. Christopher Daniels, former champion. Kyle O'Reilly, former champion. Jay Lethal, former champion. Adam Cole. Roderick Strong. And that's Tyler Black. Who's Tyler Black? Yeah. CM Punk. And then you got Samoa Joe. I guess is the one that everybody kind of was like, Joe's on this list, even though he's a current Ring of Honor television champion.
Yep.
Maybe Brian Cage would take that off him, and then Joe fights to get the big boy belt. So we're going to make the turn. We're going to main event the show with the main event from the weekend. I know we would start with this, but Gary couldn't stay up this late, and he's not really our Impact guy. So we're going to do Bound for Glory right now in our main event. And interesting call your shot gauntlet. We kind of said be aware of the Shark Boy situation where a guy just completely out of left field would win this thing. And it turned out to be Bully Ray. And Bubba Ray Dudley, Bully Ray, as is called in Impact, he came out of left field out of nowhere. And it came down to him and Steve Macklin. And I think we all kind of agree, wow, Macklin. Look at the role that Steve Macklin's on. He just won Barbed Wire Massacre. He just beat Moose the week before. He's on a roll. I spy a Jersey guy on a roll. And then a Bubba Bomb later. And Bully Ray's got the trophy. And I guess. The only thing I said, and then the telltale's out of school here because I don't, Beavis isn't really the most credible of sources here. But apparently, I guess this is the time of year where Impact contracts could be expiring, so it's almost like they don't know who's going to resign yet. And Scott, I guess let's just give it to Bully Ray because Bully Ray might be up next. And it's kind of just a bridge between whatever they got to do next, going into hard to kill. But who would be up next? Who would Bully Ray challenge John Connie in the main event? And goddamn, this was an incredible match.
Yeah. This was 28 minutes of absolutely everything you wanted out of this. Eddie Edwards, he pulls up the padding at ringside very early on, hits the Die Hard driver out there on the exposed wood. Back in, he hits a backpack stunner, gets a 2 count. Josh hits 4 consecutive Germans without letting go. They start in the ring, roll to outside on the apron's edge, then onto the floor, and then onto the diamond plate on the ramp. So it was back and forth, and it was fantastic. And then they get back inside. Josh hits that, and I don't know how he doesn't blow out a goddamn knee every time he does this. The power bomb backbreaker onto his own knee. And then Josh uses a style splash, transitions into an ankle lock, but Eddie shakes him off and sends him to the floor. Eddie hits a superplex and looks to follow with the die hard, but Josh reverses out of it into a C4 spike. Things are getting bad, so Taven pulls the ref out. Bennett KOs the ref. Kenny King hits Josh with a low blow. Eddie hits the Boston Knee Party, but only gets a 2. The extra ref slides in. Eddie goes for the Boston Knee Party again, but gets cut off with just a standing stiff right hand from Josh. And then Josh hits the C4 spike to retain. Afterwards, Honor No More attacks. Heath and Rich come down and try and help out, but they're still outnumbered. And then Bully Ray comes out. He's got the trophy in his hand. He hands the trophy to the referee. Holy crap, is Josh about to get screwed 2 years in a row? No, because Bully turns around and with Josh helps clear Honor No More. But then at the end, Josh and Bully go face to face, nose to nose. Bully said, I think at one point Bully's holding the title between the two of them, says, "You want your belt? Take it from me, but don't worry because I'm coming for it."
Yeah, there's a lot to unpack there. Bully Ray was he did spend time in Ring of Honor. They mentioned that in 2 years.
Yeah,
he did spend time. He was a consultant back then. He knew all those guys. That's when they came in. They're like, yes. And he couldn't do it. Here you go. He's ready for you. There's a table in the ring and everything. Here you go. I enjoyed that match so much. Again, if you have an emotional investment in the match, it just makes it that much better. And I wanted Eddie to win that so freaking bad to be justified. And it couldn't be that. And I think there was a missed opportunity here. Apparently, because we did our Bound for Glory special on Thursday. That Thursday night, Eddie had a meeting with his wife, and she bottom lined him. After this, you're stopping. You're stopping. You're gonna get the belt, and we're just done with this. I don't know more. Like you're done. It was some type of like that.
Yeah, it was either you're done with them, or either this is done or we're done.
Yeah, and I thought this was such a missed opportunity because Alicia was sitting right next to the Alexander family. I know the kids were involved, whatever, but like she could have knocked out Josh's wife. She could have gave her kid a wedgie. I thought she was going to be hopping in to turn the heel. This would have been a perfect chance for Alicia to join the cause and help her husband and do whatever. So Eddie got the title. She didn't move.
That's what makes me think that Beavis is probably right, because what the hell do you do with Honor No More at this point? I think maybe you say bye-bye.
So it would have been a great smooth if she just did it, Swerve, if she just did it, should have done something. But I guess wasn't a part of the plans. John McConaughey, I believe I was on an island on this one too.
Yeah. This is one of those cases where I'm more than happy to be wrong. You had the Knockouts World Championship. Jordan Grace is your champion going in against the undefeated Killing Machine, Masha Slamovich, and they went about 16 minutes, and it was back and forth. This was the female version, and okay, I'm not going to go as far as to say it's an equivalent. I'm not going to say it's a perfect parallel, but this is the female version of Luther and Sheamus. Luther
Reigns.
Yeah, Luther Reigns. Gunther and Sheamus, because these two just slapped and chopped and beat the absolute hell out of each other. And deep into the match, 14 minutes in of what would be a 16-minute match, Jordan hits a Grace driver and Masha kicks out at 2. And I'm saying to myself, okay, that's exactly where this needed to go. Of course, that's going to be how this is going to play out. Masha hits a cannonball. Like, she's got her up for like the air raid crash or whatever, and like cannonballs into the corner with her. It looked kind of ugly. She followed with the snowplow, but Jordan gets her foot under the ropes to break the count. They battle around a little bit more. They wind up on the buckles, and Jordan hits an avalanche Grace driver for the 1-2-3 to retain and give Masha her first L.
Yeah, it was a big moment, a big notch on Jordan Grace's great match. Absolutely great match. This has been another great match. This is just a great card. This is just a great match for all of them. The Kingdom defeated the Motor City Machine Guns to retain the tag team championships after Bennett accidentally super kicked Maria. And in the midst of the confusion, Matt Taven big one for Impact. Check one, roll up. Matt Taven on Chris Sabin, feet on the ropes.
With the feet
Must
on the
be a
ropes.
D for the title retention. Absolutely fun match. Back when I say that match could have went either way. Kingdom got it done. They retain. X Division Championship though, John Smith. As my heart broke for Liv Morgan on Saturday. I think yours broke.
Yeah. So as far as the questionable booking that's been going on so far in this pay-per-view, excuse me.
He doesn't even work there. Damn it.
Right? So, we get Kazarian hitting finishers and Bailey kicking out. But then Bailey hits the ultimate whipping, which nobody's kicked out of, and Frankie kicks out of that. And then it's like, what is going on here? Sure, he had a great run as X Division champion, but that was also over 10 years ago at this point. So you figure, okay, Bailey's still going to win, but no, he comes off the top rope with it was basically like a moon star or a shooting star or something, and it gets turned into an RKO basically for the 1-2-3 by Kazarian, and now we have Kazarian as X Division champ, and Bully Ray is in contention for the world championship.
Yep.
What's going on?
I don't know. And the Death Dolls are the Knockouts tag team champions because, again, for whatever bleeping reason, Deonna Purrazzo is just not allowed to win matches at Bound for Glory. It's getting annoying. 0-3.
It ain't
0-3 is champion. 0-3 is champion. She walked the aisle 3 times now at Bound for Glory, and she can't get a W here.
Well, isn't that the biggest? Did Ric Flair say that's like the most prized thing is walking the aisle at the biggest show?
The greatest honor a wrestler can have is to walk the aisle at WrestleMania as champion, and this is their version of WrestleMania. So that's she got the honor. But come on, let's get some W's here. Let's put the cherry on top of the honor here. Let's go. 12 more months till Bound for Glory. Come on, Deonna, you can do this. Mickie James defeated Mia Yim to save her career after a Mick DT. Mia threw in, and I'm sorry that anybody else catch that. Yes, I'll take it. Close enough. I'll take it. Chalk one up for me. On the Countdown show, Brian Myers defeated Dirty Dango. Fandango was the one to answer the call. I'm so pissed I missed that. Brian Myers defeated Dirty Dango to retain the digital media title. Raven was inducted into the Impact Hall of Fame the only way Raven can. It was an absolutely out-of-control, unorthodox speech, followed by hitting one last even flow DDT on Tommy Dreamer, who preceded the show in the induction. So I would love to just have one more moment with Raven DDTing me and standing over, making the Raven. And Raven gave it to him. Quote the Raven, nevermore. Before we get into the one match that I saw they have announced for Thursday's Impact, just to throw another log on the fire that we've been throwing on Impact the past couple of months. I don't know if you guys saw this. Bound for Glory, a Friday night show going up against the season premiere of SmackDown, which had the Bloodline on it, an amazing Intercontinental Championship match with Gunther and Sheamus, followed by 2 hours of AEW featuring FTR, Pac for an hour of it. They put a, how WWE, trending number 1 worldwide, Extreme Rules, trending number Bound for Glory. And they put this graph, for whatever reason, they put this graph. Bound for Glory was trending number 7 in the United States. Like, are you out of your bleeping mind? How do you think that this is working?
And why aren't you just taking all your family members and everybody and just having them tweet about this thing until it hits number 1 real quick so you can just screenshot it? Now, you can get that done. You can pay a bunch of people $20 to do it for 10 minutes,
Even if you did it at 4:00 in the afternoon, just get that screenshot.
Exactly.
Trending number 7.
Again,
okay, if SmackDown was 1, what's it's Friday night. There's nothing else on. Maybe there's probably a college football game. I don't know, baseball playoffs. The Mets were on. Okay, so maybe the Mets were too. The Mets were getting their ass kicked. I don't think anybody was watching it. Maybe that's why they were trending and people were laughing at their expense. I don't know. But please, but the next two shows, they have 2 shows in November. Granted, one's the IWPF. They're both on Fridays. So I think we need to maybe start of the new year. We got to sit down with Scott D'Amore. I know Scott watches the show. Maybe he's hearing us right now. Maybe we'll have to sit down with him. But we have one match coming up on Impact on Thursday. Bhupinder Gujar not getting Brian Myers, but getting returning Matt Cardona, who returned in the Call Your Shot Gauntlet. John Tlacani, you're already shaking your head.
When he wasn't there for the first match, I was like, okay, fine, maybe he's not ready yet. When he came out in the Gauntlet, I was like, son of a, are you kidding me? Anyway, yeah, Cardona I assume gets the job done here. Maybe even with Myers helping him. We'll see whether or not they go back to those two being buddies or if they're going to turn on each other. Who knows?
John Smith.
Yeah, sounds good to me.
All right, let's get all this. Well, actually, here we are. Here we go. These are the Impact standings after Bound for Glory. We didn't really do all too well here. Most of us under 500. Brian Roy actually was 500. We had a lot of the same picks.
Wow.
I got the extra win for Jordan Grace. Gary got the extra win because he picked Josh Alexander. And then here are the overall standings. And Brian Roy, he's coming up on a 90-point lead. Was that 91? 91 points right there.
Jesus, yeah.
But we got a little bit of a train wreck here. John Licani let us catch up. John Licani had a bad Bound for Glory. And he's letting us back in this one. Beavis, I was able to pass Beavis. Gary passed John Smith.
Jesus.
So, wonder what's going. It's got a couple big shows coming. We got Halloween Havoc next weekend. We have Overdrive. We got Crown Jewel, the Rumble. We still got some stuff.
This is why we don't call ourselves experts.
So here were the Raw roll-ups. Last week, Darby Allin hit the Last Supper on Jay Lethal. Matt Taven, as we just said, at Bound for Glory with the Raw roll-up on Chris Sabin. Dax Hardwood on one of the members of the Gates of Agony on Collective. And then Candice LeRae joining the party. She got one for Raw, but that's 2 for AEW, 1 for Raw, and that extends their lead. They're up to a 5 roll-up lead now. Impact trying to keep pace here. SmackDown and NXT again just not having it. But Darby Allin is now joined the list. He's in a chase. He's trying to chase. I don't know if he wants to win the whole thing here. I think he's definitely chasing Wheeler Yuta using the seatbelt pin. So they actually have pins. Woods with the backwoods. Dana Brooke we haven't seen since Triple H turned over. Liv Morgan, who knows what's with her right now. Miz and Tamina still leading the way with a whole train wreck of people with 3 roll-up losses.
The only podcast that mentions Tamina on a weekly basis.
And Dana Brooke. All right. The primetime rundown is back. Congratulations again. They just celebrated 100 episodes last Friday. They are back on the usual day and time. Joey Jarzenka, Ian Schreier, Mike Zabo returned Friday nights at 7 p.m. With everything you need to know about the world of sports. Of course, we are having our NFL season-long feud against the primetime rundown. We had a great week, boys. This is absolutely great. We had 5 wins and 1 loss. I finally got a win. And again, the Adams still got that check mark next to him. Everything's going good. The good news, we got 5 wins. The bad news, they got 6. They went perfect. So now that gives us a little bit of a deeper hole. We are 3 wins behind in the win column. In case of a tiebreaker, we're 5 behind in the loss column. So I tried to, I don't know if you saw this before, I tried to bet with John DeCounty just to screw him over. He's too good. He's too good. So he got me the win, so I guess I'll win.
How the hell are the Giants 4-1?
What's that?
How the hell are the Giants 4-1?
I
I thought the Packers were a lock.
Yeah.
The Giants were a lock to lose in week 1. I mean, here we are. I don't know, the Giants. Do you have any interest in becoming a sports reporter? Would you like to be asking high-profile coaches and players questions in person? Are you a college student looking to break into the sports media industry and looking to write about your favorite team? The Eastern Observer is looking for interested candidates to join the family for college credit. Look to go further, aspiring writers, social media specialists, content creators, etc. Inquire by emailing eosports3@gmail.com. We are looking forward to having you join the Eastern Observer family. Black Cats NYC, the official band of the Eastern Observer. Everywhere you get your music, Pandora, Spotify, YouTube, SoundCloud, anywhere you get your music, you can get the Black Cats NYC's album, Free King. Out now. Play loud. As always, the Essential Wrestling Podcast is sponsored by Pro Wrestling Pick'em, the internet leader in sports entertainment pick'em pools. Join us in the Essential Wrestling Podcast public pool to play against us or create a private pool with you and your friends. ProWrestlingPick'em.com. Play against your friends. Play against the universe. And guys, she will like it too. Join us back here next week for episode 123. Man, 123, all right. At 5 p.m. on all our viewing options. Anywhere, anyway, and anyhow you're watching the show now, please make sure you join us again next week to watch as well. And while you're here now watching or listening, please make sure to like this episode and to subscribe to the Eastern Observer and make sure to get all updates on all of our shows and news articles. I can't stress this enough. It is all about the algorithm. John, comment anything before we get out of here?
Well, another fun week at wrestling ahead. Looking forward to it.
It's gonna be a good show. I'm looking forward to Axiom and Nathan Frazier tonight, John Smith.
Yeah, and just so everybody's aware, JETS, Jets scored the most points in the NFL.
I believe everybody in the tri-state area is booking their tickets for the Giants-Jets Super Bowl. Alexa Bliss, we love you. Zaya Brookside, the Queen of Europe, coming in 2023. Apparently accepting bookings up until then. I saw that on Twitter. My Alexa upstairs. Don Connie, take us home.
Thanks for joining us. And as always, we wish you the best in all your future endeavors.
You know what the funny thing is? I can see this being like a fisherman. Hey, honey, look at the one I just caught. Look how much this one weighs. You know, I can see that kind of.